before this video begins, I want to apologize for the setup. I dragged in my college stuff to stack, thinking I could put my camera on. It's there, but it's not going to get my face, and I can't stack it higher or it's going to fall. So I want to get that out of the way. And then, I wasn't able to film this video, which, sucks. I worked on the script probably too much. I doubt the phone's going to focus. Yeah, it's not going to focus in, but it's like dense. I literally wrote everything I was going to say. Should have written it in bullet points, but now we know. But I just want to get that out of the way. The setup's bad. Just don't look at it. Listen to this, but even then, it's not going to be graceful. This is amateur, high school writing. It's not really, I'm not really citing sources. I'm just talking about my experience, and I just realized I did not bring something I need. One moment. Alright, I'm back. I'm honestly not going to be editing this. I don't have a software to. Maybe if it was on my camera, I would, but even then, like I said, I don't have the software, so I just forgot, something I need, for this. Okay, so I'm gonna start. I'm really not gonna look at the screen a lot. I know myself. I should have printed it on a paper so it's more subtle, but you're just gonna see the light of my phone. Alright, alright. So my name's Rebecca Perlman, and I wrote a shitty ARG, which is a bit harsh. More accurately, my ARG failed before it was complete. It didn't start. The writing technically was completed. All the background info was. But this is just a way to catalog the progress. And, this is the progress. It's this fucking thing I just stapled together. I don't know why I did it like this. Don't do it like that. Write it down in a good place. I just don't remember things I don't physically write, but also I have dysgraphia, so my handwriting's atrocious, and sometimes I can't even read it. But, okay. So I'm reading my script a bit. Yeah. But this is basically just to catalog it, and if anyone's interested, a lot of times, ARGs are posted, which, if you don't know, it's an alternate reality game. I'm gonna give a bad example or explanation. It relies on player input. You could have it in different ways. Definitely, I feel like a lot more now, it's, that's why I feel like there is a legitimate crossover between analog horror, because a lot of it's in analog media or themed media, but some of these websites, but also overall it's interactive, but just because the story's interactive doesn't mean it's an ARG. It's only if the players what they do influences the story. So that's why stuff like Welcome Home, I don't think the creator considers it one, because the story's going to be how it's going to be. And the puzzles, but, that's when ARG is. I just realized in my script I didn't write anything about that, which I may not even be using my script a lot. I wrote it. Maybe I'll post a link if anyone wants. I don't know, a PDF, honestly. I don't want, I don't know. I'm scared I'm gonna forget to, put other people's access as viewer, and then that's just overthinking. But I'm going to start with what led me to ARGs, which, starting with what, I'm giving you the info, it's got me in ARGs. Sorry I repeated that, I read the right thing. Mine's just not super unique at all. It was Marble Hornets, which I know this argument if it's an ARG, but I think what got me kind of into the genre was kind of that creepypasta, like, if you grew up, like, being a kid, because I was born 2005, so, like, a lot of my internet was, like, the 2010s to mid-2010s, and, even though I wasn't into ARGs, I was into kind of creepypasta, but it's weird, because I wasn't in the fandom. I would, at most, maybe watch someone do, like, a speed paint, or just reading out the story, or something. I never was, like, on forums or anything. I watched comics, though. Comic dubs are just, like, not even a dub. It's just, a couple non-credited comics with, like, Nightcore, I don't know, Angel with a Shotgun, or that one wasn't playing. Probably, like, Partners in Crime was playing or something. But, I was really scared of it. I was a wuss when I was a kid. And I think the fact that there was issues within the creepypasta fandom with trying to scare children. I think, like, because I was really scared of Slenderman mainly. I was scared of stuff like the Rake too, but I think for a similar reason of Slenderman and, like, Smiling Dog. Just, like, what if it's real? And I think, circling back, there was issues with people, a kid would be like, is that real? And it's like, sometimes you gotta tell a kid no, because I think too many people were saying it's real. And, even though I was like, oh, it's not real, it was that what if, but, it was scary. I'm sorry, I'm just, like, looking at, I really should have wrote in just an outline and not, like, a whole thing. I spent 2 days on this. It's literally an essay. It's better said, with a couple, like, notes for, like, show this, or, like, make sure they know you're being sarcastic. Okay, so, Nightcore, but yeah, in the fandom, I'd say mainly, like Slender Mansion stuff, which, that's just adding on, but I did steer clear after the Slenderman murders, because, yeah, I think that is, like, a lot of people found out. I remember, watching something about it on the news, and, like, I explained, actually, well, so I'm going to actually read what I wrote. Sorry, I'm, like, looking for, yeah. But, yeah, I was kind of, it's weird, I wasn't sheltered growing up, but I was very aware of my adoptive parents' beliefs on things. Like, I was scared of horror stuff, but, morbid curiosity as a kid. But I remember, something, sorry, wrong, I call it the wrong thing, Slenderman stabbings. So, I remember sitting there, I'm watching it, they didn't see the complexities of, like, what made it up, like, the societal and social stuff, which, this is not, like, a defense, it's just, like, it was kids, like, it's different than, like, than old Ted Bundy or something, right? And that's why I'm, like, even being vague talking about it, because it's real people, like, it's not a sensational, I don't think it should be sensationalized. But, they just saw Slenderman as, like, some evil, corrupting force, which, like, if you know the lore of Slenderman, technically, like, oh, he corrupts people, and, like, that's with Marble Hornets, messes with them, but, like, it held less case in reality, like, the corrupting force belief that they had, because he's not real. They just kind of have this, I don't know. I personally don't know where this belief comes from. I didn't grow up before living here hearing that thing. Like, occasionally it's like, oh, this thing's maybe not good for kids to see, but that was more like, it's for older, like, people, like, think, like, gore, like, sexual shit. Like, it's more just, like, at a certain age you shouldn't see. Like, but also, I never grew up with someone being like, oh, yeah, this isn't just evil, this will turn you, and it's, I don't know, maybe it's some, like, devil thing, I don't know. I literally won't lie. So I'm just seeing where I am in my, yeah. But, yeah, like, you know, it didn't matter, like, to them, the Slenderman wasn't real. That really, they actually did, start looking more into what I was looking at. And I still actually have that, like, the computer, like, the group computer, like, this is a school one, is in the, like, living room and faces them. Still, I'm 18. Yeah. Like, yeah, but basically the what if it's real of Slenderman drew me to horror, which then, in sophomore year, which it was post-COVID, oh my god, quarantine here was, but yeah, like, it was post-COVID, and I had more, I guess, unlimited, I don't know, unlimited, because in middle school, you know, maybe you have, like, a study hall, but, like, at least in high school, you kind of have, they let you be more, so I was able to just look into horror, because I wanted to kind of face my fears, because, like, I'm, like, at that point, I think it was, like, 15, 16, I don't know when, so I was like, you know what, like, I was scared as fuck about Slenderman. So, that's just a lot of precursor, like 10 minutes of precursor. I don't blame someone for not watching this. That's depressing. That's too self-deprecating. Okay. But yeah, but I started with a foundational of, I guess, a lot, because a lot of, even if you don't agree that Marble Hornets is an ARG, it did influence ARGs. So I started with Marble Hornets. I literally binged it in, like, a month, which, that's not too bad. I think it's, like, 8 hours, 9 hours worth of stuff. But I just watched the videos and then went into the ARG aspects, watching, someone talk about it, Nightmind, specifically. I like his stuff, and I think that also helped me get into series. Also, like, this one analog horror, because, like I said, there's an overlap. But that's, like, a bunch of it, you know? All of the precursor to going in what inspired my ARG, I would say, like, I didn't, stick to strictly ARG materials in looking for what to inspire mine. This is, like, not crazy to say, because I think sometimes if you keep on looking at what other ARGs are doing, you kind of get this loop of the same thing being done. So I think one, doing your own thing. Also, it's not bad to do a cliche always. Like, it's more how you do it. But, like, yeah, like, I'd say a lot of ARGs have a lot of analog. There's a lot of overlap now. I can't see my hands. I'm doing, like, hand motions. And I know for analog horror, there is, like, oh, everything's the same. And it's like, yes and no. I like it, but also I'm picky. But also I'm not picky. I don't know. I watched the Walton Files mainly at this point. I dropped most of the others. I watched Local 58. I don't know if they updated. But those are, like, the only ones I really keep up with. But for what inspired, like, I did stick to horror for a lot of things, because I do like the genre. I think it's good, my opinion, but also, like, ARGs don't have to. A lot of them do tend to be, even if not horror, just, like, dramatic's not the word, thriller, that's the word I was looking for, because it keeps you engaged, but also I like horror, like, which I'm gonna explain, like, certain things, like, I took inspiration, let's say, like, for aesthetics and, like, the psychological themes and just the general themes of games like Silent Hill, which, I mean, I've only seen up to the 4th game. I'm really bad at video games. I just watch playthroughs. Fake fan, my bad. Don't kill me. But, you know, certain aesthetic, like, because it has a very specific look, like the foggy, but I do like, one, it's artsy sometimes, but also you can't always see exactly what's going on, which I think's good. Sometimes, like, you just gotta hide stuff from the viewer. And Who's Lila? That was more for, I really like the themes. There's a lot of psychology, like Jungian philosophy, not psychology. It overlaps, whatever, but But also, I like those unnerving. I love, oh my god, check out Who's Lila. Like, get the game, support Garage Heathen. If you're not, watch a playthrough. I don't, I'm not gonna... I get it. People don't always want to play a video game. I didn't even play it. I'm not gonna be like, play the game, and I didn't even. And watch Flaw Peacock's, like, almost 8-hour analysis after you watch it, a playthrough. Which, the playthrough, like, Manly Badass Heroes, isn't too long, because he cuts, like, there's a lot of endings. That's not really a big spoiler, but, so he cuts, like, the repeat stuff, but some of the stuff then is talked about in Flaw Peacock's, which I love his content. I haven't watched all of his videos, but I like his analysis. I like it. It's creative. What else inspired me? Wow, I really just, like, skipped a whole line. His game, Petscop, because I really do like... Okay, I like that how it withheld information, which I don't think they gave. Don't kill me, Petscop fans. I love Petscop, but I don't think it gave enough. So I'm reading to make sure I don't say something stupid. It didn't really, in my opinion, reveal enough to be able to properly, like, speculate after its finale. I think with just a little bit more info being given at some point, it would have been fine. It's just now, like, in the end, like, I'll still have my theories and I still like seeing it, but, like, that's just my personal opinion. But I do think it did good with, a lot of stuff was happening, and sometimes you had no clue what was happening, and then it makes sense because you get all this withheld information and so much of it clicks and all that. Resident Evil, a bit, because I did a sci-fi kind of, like, lab shit, so you can't really avoid looking at that. Unintentionally Stranger Things, though. I've not watched Stranger Things. It's banned in my house. The Crawford's house, whatever. Whole thing. Yeah. So I thought they would let me after, like, I don't know. I get it. It is kind of body horror, and I get them not. But, like, plot-wise, it's not anything crazy. I thought the Red Scare stuff would, like, let them make me watch it. I won't lie. Like, Boomer Logic, whatever. Yeah, I thought that'd appeal to them. So I haven't watched it. I did, but it's, a lot of it's in sci-fi and a lot of people watch it. So I did look through the wiki and I realized that certain things were very similar. Great minds think alike. Just kidding. I mean, there's creativity, but also, like, things are going to be similar. It's more just how you execute it. And probably there are concepts like Stranger Things before Stranger Things, so it's not crazy. Okay, so I'm going to be looking down a lot at my phone, because this is the point you all were waiting for, actually explaining my ARG and its plan. Like, 18 minutes in, I'm looking at the time. I'm not editing this. I'm sorry. It's not that I don't care. It's that I don't have the time right now. Maybe one day I will remake this video. But I'm cataloging my failure. So, strap in. My ARG. I wish I had some titles so I'd be like, read it out. No. Okay. I don't have that, though. Okay, so what was my ARG about? The Crawford Foundation or Crawford Foundation Care Home. The name would depend on, like, whatever it would be called. Like, those were just the names because it kind of hint, like, Marble Hornets was under the Marble Hornets channel, so of course it was called Marble Hornets. That's usually, you should, like, because then you get shit with, that's going to get a controversy. There's a good chance for an ARG you should have, if you want its name to stick, have it as your channel name if you're doing YouTube. I was going to give a specific example, but I don't want to catch the heat on that. If you know, you know. Anyways, that's so vague. Even if you do know what I'm talking about, how I'm explaining is so vague. You're not gonna. But anyways, the name would depend on the players, and, I use them interchangeably. It's just easy to say Crawford Foundation, but sometimes I would just say CFCH. but also like the website I was making was called the Crawford Foundation, I think. But also I think the header said Foundation Care Home. Or Crawford, forgot that, but yeah. So it was a modern sci-fi following the scape of Reba. Original, I named her after myself. I would forget her name if I didn't do my name. From the experiments funded by the Crawford Foundation, a foundation which funded experimentation on making humanity immune to radiation, which led to the discovery of a new level of reality. And I bet you can guess the name. It's called the nuclear reality. It's cliche, but also, what else should I call it? But it basically was like a layer over our reality. So kind of everything was connected through the nuclear reality. So you can get like reality bending stuff, like you can go to the nuclear reality, and then have like teleportation. It's kind of, it's actually, I don't know why I air quoted. It is teleportation. Yeah. Access it, bending properties, But yeah, I'm not gonna explain everything because there were a lot of specifics put in, but it's not really important, and it's gonna make the video longer than it is. It's 21 minutes. I've been talking about literally nothing, for most of it. Anyways, footage of the nuclear reality, basically bending, video length, show it. Yeah, but like, this is mostly full. I think, I added some papers towards the end, but like, oh, I missed a page. Like, this is all written on, and then this has like little like pop-up book looking, not pop-up books, but like flaps of paper within it. So it's right. So I'm not going over all of that. But it's mostly filled with info to keep track, because of it for myself, and so if I were to show it, it would make sense to people. What else? Yeah. But the program was realized under the guise of a private medical care facility called the Crawford Foundation Care Home, because it's funded by the Crawford Foundation. Reba was one of 3 central characters, specifically of the experiments, because there's some who aren't. The other is being Kane O'Malley and Samuel Norman. There are other characters I'll be talking about. I'll explain why I'm not gonna talk about them as much, because they're 2 technical other antagonists. I'm gonna explain why my failure, why I'm not gonna explain them, but also like, they're like just people who would do anything for science, like by any means necessary to a degree. That's kind of just what they represented. Some characters just represented ideals to a degree. Okay, so I'm going to begin with protagonist, Reba. She was sent to CFCH as a means to provide mental health care, because she was deemed behavioral problems. Mental health care. Over a lot of stuff about her correlates to my life, which is why I'm vaguest about her. It's not like anything like super specific. It's just like, I don't know. I'm showing, the original was going to be on a website, and maybe you'd have a couple photos, poorly edited, shitty photos of me, but it wasn't going to be on YouTube. And I don't know, it feels personal to like say it rather than just write it down. Because I write a lot of my shit down, but there's a reason why I don't verbally say it. I don't know. It's less personal when I type it. Which I'm breaking down a layer of the personalness, because I'm showing my face, which even if I'm like not the happiest about, because I don't know. I made this account and like a while ago, and I just never did anything with it because I was scared of like YouTube. I don't know. It was crazy. I just think of like the crazy shit that happened on YouTube. I don't know. I think looking at animation memes and seeing the hell of that, and kind of scared me of YouTube a bit for a while. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. Collect My Life, Vegas, originally the ARG, yeah, so Wix website, that's what I was using for it. Personal Real Me, but also the protagonist has certain traits were developed, like, less than, just so, in a way, not that she's, like, an everyman stand-in, but I wanted certain things to be influenced more by the players, like, in a way, the player, not is Reba, but, not Reba me, but, like, you know what I mean, like, but, she's more of a blank slate, so that's why but also she is the youngest, like, what are their ages? I literally wrote all the character stuff down, so, because she's the youngest, she's, like, my age, because, why not? Like, I, at most, maybe could fake being younger than me, but also, why would I? I'm 18, like, because she's my age, so she's 18, sorry, there's, like, a lot. Samuel is 49, and Cain is 54, so, she has less life experience, so that also is a thing, you know. So certain things were fleshed out more just because they lived longer. Alright, next part. So next, I wanted people to put themselves in her shoes. But next on the roster, Cain O'Malley. A veteran who cycled in and out of mental hospitals and homeless shelters after being estranged from his family. Familial separation as a whole was a major theme within just the ARG, or just like family dynamics if you want to be more vague. But yeah, or all encompassing, that's what I wrote. I don't know why I didn't just say vague. So Cain was meant to draw in the players by infiltrating the website through the nuclear reality. So I wasn't vague. It's kind of on all realities. He went in the computer and, like, changed it, but also, I don't know, like, I know, but also it's not, like, you're not gonna see it, it's not being posted, so at this point, so it doesn't really matter. Alright, I gotta stop saying that. Wanted to use the character's knowledge and philosophy to, like, heighten intrigue. I watched a lot of philosophy videos for him, but also, like, he is the most separated from the Foundation, so it kind of allows him to be the most vocal, because unlike Reba and Samuel, he was absorbed into the flock well into his adulthood, so he wasn't, impressionable child, susceptible to, like, the manipulation. He was able to rationalize the experiences, the testing, which left him, like, he does not look human anymore. Like, basically, it was, like, a mixing of cells of, like, nuclear resistant or radiation resistant creatures, and then they blast you to hell and back with radiation. It wasn't super successful, but, yeah, he looks fucked up now, because, body horror, but also, like, you don't look normal after that. Most experimentation. But yeah, so he was able to rationalize more than the other characters. So in a way, he was able to move, even though he's not leaving, he's able to kind of, I don't know, I'm going to explain it more, but he was maimed and mutilated by the experimentation. I said that. He was never going to be able to leave, so basically he has a very nihilistic approach, but it's also like, why bother trying to escape? But at the same time, if he can't escape, why not have fun with his life? Why not do what he can to counter the system, which ranged from, like, ensuring, unlike Samuel, Reba was not locked into the Crawfords' pseudo-familial system, which was, like, them as the parents, and then Samuel as a son, and Reba as a daughter. So, like, a perfect family. I was originally going to do, like, a nuclear family, or atomic. I don't know what it's called. Yes. But, like, perfect life, husband, wife, 2.5 kids, white picket fence, all that stuff. That stuff tended to fade a bit into my writing, but yeah, he was he made sure Reba didn't get drawn in, but also, he just wasn't drawn in. He was old enough to go, this is kind of dumb. Not that, like, Reba doesn't do that, but also, he's an adult. Like, Reba and Samuel were, like, two hurt, like, kids who went into the system, and then were taken by this experiment, like, who got vulnerable people, who got people that, like, society wouldn't, care as much if they went missing. So that's moving into Samuel. He's a contrast to Reba, kind of an opposite in a way. They had very similar situations, but how they interacted and how they how they perceive stuff is totally different because the different people. So he, was deemed as, behavioral and mental problems, but led both of them into the program. But Reba fought against being absorbed into the family, but that's mainly due to her lack of connection to the Crawfords. But, Samuel didn't do this. So he took the manipulation at face value. In a way, it does represent very, familiar values. Think, average American family, which Reba, like me, is first generation from the Soviet Union. There is a difference. I talk to people and there is a difference in mentality. So certain things wouldn't work as well on Reba. She still got affected. And, she rejected the roles put on her. But also she fell into them in certain ways. She just didn't follow as much. But Samuel didn't have this, so... stuff. And, I'm being vague on the values. But, it was the little things that made Samuel comfortable and Reba not. Before Reba's procedure, he was the success story of the Foundation. Unlike Cain, he overall looked human. He was kind of, stuck at, the height he was at 14. Mentally he's there. It's just, there are, I don't know, people in real life, they get radiated, like that, they die. But this is, kind of putting this idea of if you can become immune, because the program was started post-World War II when there was, the Cold War and everyone was worried about everyone getting nuked, but also if it's possible to be done, I don't think it would, be done in an ethical way. I think it's kind of impossible with radiation to do anything. I mean, besides cancer treatment and stuff. But if you're trying to make someone immune, it's not going to be ethical. It's not going to show up for most of it the way you want. So that's how you get Cain being kind of really not looking human. I mean, he looks to a degree. And, it's just, Reba looked human. She had non-human traits, but she looked human, and that is kind of what society would accept. They wouldn't accept, the psychological toll that caused, certain behaviors and all that, but it was acceptable. She looked human, so that frustrated Cain, for two reasons, because he's not, the golden child in a way. Even if Reba isn't, it's just his perception. But he's not the success story. So he wasn't... So he basically didn't like her because she rejected the status quo because he thinks the Crawfords are great. He's like, they took me in, they're my parents. You're ungrateful for not, seeing how good they are. But also, what's the word? So I'm looking, so I'm forgetting the word. Resentment. Yeah, sorry, I'm reading this. Yeah, but it led to resentment. And the resentment led to it being weaponized after Reba's escape. He was basically sent on a wild goose chase to find her, which would lead to, murders, because I had them get some animalistic traits just because, I don't know. It's cool. But you could also be like hybrid. Like there was hybrid DNA. So I mean, if I actually worked on it more, maybe I would have done like, oh, they added this for certain benefits. I think it was what Hannah. Yeah, it's Hannah. Why am I saying Hannah? Which is like what wolf DNA. Like there probably was something, but yeah. So A plot was Reba's active escape, and B plot was unearthing the inner workings of the CFCH. A plot would be more impacted by player intervention, and B plot more passive discovery in comparison. Info from the plot would lead to discovering aspects of the website, like you'd find what web pages are called or references to stuff. Because I was just gonna have it on, like, I don't know. It's weird because I was gonna post the website first, and then so I got text from Kathleen, and then figure out, because I was thinking maybe making a new account, but also I was not in a situation where I'm fully, I don't know, that's going on to my failure, okay. Or the conclusion is where I talk about my work on it more. I spent a lot of time. It was like over half a year. But I had all this written. Overall, most of the stuff was realized. Some stuff could like be worked on later, like the website. Like I was ready to, the surface level stuff was done. The info was overall complete with a couple like plot holes or just info holes, but whatever. Like I'd have time to fix that, and also like I wasn't expecting people to flock to this. It was more like I wasn't expecting it to get pop. It was more for myself to work through because some things. But why it failed? All this work, all this time worked, and just done a video about its demise. So what caused it? Being discovered. So if it was potential players, then that'd be good. But what's not good is my foster parents. They've not been my foster parents for years. My adoptive parents finding my Wix profile because I've got to log out of my ARG account. I made a whole website for it. Yeah, in hindsight, don't use real names. I didn't use their faces. I am saying I did not use their faces at all. I shittily edited like this person does not exist-esque AI. But they weren't happy. Which, yeah, that's fair. Like, I don't know. I feel bad. I mean, it's gone bad since that. They don't really trust me. And it's like, yes, I understand. Yeah. Shouldn't have been used real names. I wasn't baking them on finding it, because like I said, I wasn't expecting anyone to even find it. Like, yeah, maybe it would blow up, or maybe someone would find it and like a couple people would be interested, but like, you know, I didn't even have like the Reba stuff recorded. I had a camera, 2 cameras now, but you know, I was planning on just having like ominous videos on YouTube, which, I mean, in hindsight, what sets that apart from anything else. But yeah, they were pretty pissed, to say the least, and no more privacy after that. They don't trust me. Fair. It's just frustrating. It's not a new thing. It's the reaction I understand, but also the reaction is very specific. So yeah. Privacy non-existent, and I spent all my free time I had, even when I should have been focusing like on myself, on this project. Like I did, like in the worst times, like you could think of working on it. I was like, my personal stuff, not an issue. I'm working on it. I don't know. It's kind of escaping reality through it. But yeah. But with college, I probably would have gained time and space to do it, but it's just ruined for me. I'm still proud of my work. It could have been something, like maybe it could have, but I don't know. It's just wishful thinking, I think. Like, I just want to bury it. And that's where I lead to the conclusion. Like, I do find myself missing it, like the world I created. I miss the characters, because I did, like, I don't know, it's like imaginary friends at this point, which is like 18, that's kind of sad, but kind of it was, because it was to a degree me, also because it's easier to act as me than have someone with like a totally different personality, that's the word I'm looking for. But like it's not real, but I'm real, like my feelings are real. Like all the stuff I put into the story is real. So I don't know, I think I should focus on reality. This is not some like, I don't want this to be discouraging. It's just a personal thing. Like, there's a lot of my life I need to work through, and I'd like to focus on that. I think with college I may be able to more separate, like I still love ARGs. Maybe I'll make one when I'm in a better situation, but for now I'm just going to move past it through this video. This is a goodbye, a love letter to the project. Sorry, I'm apologizing a lot for reading the script. Next time I'm doing bullet points, guys. Yeah, I don't want this to deter people. I don't want it to send like a feeling of hopelessness. I don't want it to sound hopeless. Like, it's not. My situation's very specific to me. Like, I spent 41 minutes explaining my life to a degree. And yeah, like, it's not all encompassing. Like, this is more just showing, I guess, a reality that sometimes things don't work out for whatever reason. Like, my story, yeah, so like keep working on your ARG if you're making one. If you want to, but things change with time. Your interests change. It's your work. A lot of it does tie into other perceptions, but like, with an ARG, like, yeah, there's a certain point where it's like influenced by people, but also if you just really are like, I fucking hate this, this isn't bringing me joy, like, yeah, like, people may be disappointed if it gets popular, but also it's you, like, it's your work. Don't make yourself miserable. Like, I put all this work in, and yeah, it kind of sucks that, like, it goes nowhere, but also, like, it taught me a lot, and I think in the future, for anything, it'll help me, any projects I make. Yeah, but it's not a crime to lose interest. It's natural. Like, people, oh, I literally skipped. That makes so much more sense. Sorry, I skipped a line. And I'm like, why am I saying this? Yeah. Interests tie into, yeah. But in the end, you're the creator, This isn't to say, like, ignore criticism, like, constructive criticism. Listen. Like, even if it's, like, if you're like, well, that's not what I was trying to go for. But then maybe that's a perception thing, and maybe you have to hammer the nail a bit better with what themes you're doing, if it's getting perceived one way, because sometimes people have good intentions but then it's taken another way. But yeah, so lose interest, like, this isn't calling for like a my way or the highway approach to a very interactive genre, one that often morphs and adapts to its players. I'm more focusing on like the creation side, if it makes sense, like kind of the before it posts, or like even like behind the scenes stuff to a degree. Yeah, that makes sense, like the work and what led to the project, even if it ends up a bust. Things happen. That's a really, sorry, I can't read. My glasses are like dirty. Daps project, even if it's a bust, happened. I won't lie, yeah, I'm disappointed that it didn't work. It didn't succeed, but I also don't really see it as some personal failing. I can't control what happens around me, but I can do what's best for myself and face the world. Yeah, sorry, this was like 45, it's about to be 45 probably when it ends, minutes of nothingness, but this is more for me. I mean, I'm gonna tag it with stuff, and that may draw attention to it, because I'm gonna put like hashtag ARG, because it is, but it's for me. Like, I'm cataloging my stuff, so I hope to have better videos in the future, and I probably will remake this. If I guess it gets enough people, like, if someone comments like, oh, that's interesting or something, maybe I'll remake it better. Or I'll actually go in depth of my ARG and explain, because there was a lot I didn't. But yeah, that's it. Sorry, like, I drive cars going in, so I really have to go. But yeah, thanks for watching. If you watched to the end, congratulations, you deserve a medal. Literally, you deserve a medal, because I don't know how you watched this thing at all. It's unwatchable. And also the quality's horrible. And I'm not editing it. Anyways. Bye.